Hey guys, welcome back to Loop Hub. Today we'll talk about the grossest and most disgusting moments on Dr. Pimple Popper. Let's head into it. Number 1. Acute cyst. Dr. Pimple Popper has been able to see patients in her California office despite the pandemic, and she has the nasty pimple popping videos to prove it. Dr. Sandra Lee, the famous dermatologist, published a YouTube video on November 30th in which she removed the contents of a man's pillar cyst. A pillar cyst is a hard flesh-colored skin lump that's filled with keratin protein that's accumulated beneath the surface. These pimples are usually harmless, but they can cause pain in certain people and require surgery to remove, according to Insider. The growth on Lee's patient's temple along his hairline reminded him of a tooth, and Lee herself described it as cute due to its compact size. Dr. Pimple Popper used a surgical blade to make a small incision around the cyst to remove it. Lee explained in the video that she made the incision as little as possible to reduce scarring once the area healed. Lee used a small hook tool and scissors to gently open the incision and gain a closer look at the cyst insides after injecting the patient with a numbing medication. She then removed the entire pebble-sized growth out of the man's skin with scissors. The patient was bleeding where Lee made the incision after the cyst was removed, so she used a small cauterizing pen to stop blood flow from the tiny blood arteries inside. Dr. Pimple Popper then closed the wound with medical stitches and allowed it to recover. Number 2. Unclogging blackheads inside a patient's ear. Dr. Pimple Popper posted an Instagram video on Thursday showing a close-up of a blackhead extraction in a patient's ear. Dr. Pimple Popper, whose real name is dermatologist Dr. Sandra Lee, pushed on their areas surrounding each blackhead with a comedone extractor, a looping metal tool, and then the zoomed-in clip. Blackheads are a type of acne that develops when sebum, a natural oil generated by the body, clogs pores or hair follicles. Because sebum oxides when it comes into contact with air, it turns black, according to Papri Sarkar, a dermatologist in Massachusetts. When Lee used the comedone extractor to apply pressure to the patient's ear blackheads, the bulk of them popped out easily. As a golden and somewhat translucent glob of sebum came out of one pore, Lee told her patient, "You've got great, fulfilling ones." Lee began by carefully lifting the top portion of a more difficult to remove blackhead with a little blade, freeing it from the pore. She was then able to remove the remaining sebum using the comedone extractor. Although blackhead extractions aren't as popular in clinics as cyst and lipoma removals, Lee continues to share them on her YouTube and Instagram profiles because her admirers can get enough of them. Number 3. A cave hidden gem. I know, what is that even supposed to mean, right? Well, Dr. Lee recently dug up a cyst so huge that she named it a cave of hidden gems. After a regular cyst excision revealed a very large tumor beneath the surface that required a marathon excavation, Dr. Pimple Popper put her intrepid dermatology talents to the test. Dr. Sandra Lee, or Dr. Pimple Popper, spent nearly 12 minutes extracting the massive hidden cyst in a YouTube video posted on Monday. A growth formed as skin cells multiply below the surface, creating a capsule that fills with protein or glandular secretions. In 2007, the cyst was excised for the first time. Lee believes that a portion of the cyst was left behind and has since grown further into the skin. Lee created an incision in the skin surface after numbing the area with a local anesthetic so the patients wouldn't feel pain, then applied pressure to the cyst with her fingers, tweezers at the ready. At first, only a few little fragments of the cyst were visible. Lee discovered it was much deeper beneath the surface than she had anticipated when she dug deeper with a knife. She inquired, "Where is he?" then pulled out a grape-sized cyst that looked like yellowish chunks of old yogurt. Another cyst appeared. "He pushed away and grew down beneath," Lee explained. "I'm just hoping we can get it all out because it's tucked away." Lee claimed she could feel it popping under there while she alternated between pressing with her fingers and investigating with a scalpel, and she used the tweezers to remove more, smaller pieces of cyst. Lee also scrapped out the hole she made under the skin with a curette, which was larger than the head of the Q-tip she used to swab out the area. But just as Lee thinks she's removed the cyst completely, a final examination with the tweezers reveals even more tissue fragments beneath the surface, including another dim-sized chunk of creamy white biomatter. She said, "I was about to announce we were all clear. That was really interesting to me. I didn't see that coming at all." Lee was then faced with even more surprise particles of leftover cyst after flooding the region with fluid, so she did a final check by pressing the area with her fingers and swabbing with a Q-tip. Finally, she gave the patient the all clear once the cyst swelling had subsided, stitched up the cavity, and sent her on her way. One of the difficulties with cyst removal, according to Lee, is determining whether it's totally excised, as she prefers to make smaller cuts if possible to reduce scarring. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen right now because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.